This customer's ready to spend some money on this Pilot. I had to put my foot down and say, no, you got to stop. Let's find out what's wrong with this thing. Let's get started. Apologize ahead of time. I have a little bit of a cold, so my voice sounds kind of weird. I might cough here or there, but this is a 2007 Honda Pilot. It has around 224,000 miles on it. It came in for ticking noise in the engine bay, which has been solved, and we'll show you what we found. The customer wanted to go ahead and move forward with even more repairs until we did an inspection and found some very damning evidence. It's really bad, guys. Before we dive into that, let's take a look around this Pilot and show you some things that are starting to be telltale signs of where we're going with this. The headlights are really fogged out and they are turning yellow. They don't have a whole lot of life left in them. They need to be resurfaced. But one thing we do see along the hood line, there's some severe corrosion, especially right there, guys. It's really bad. I believe this is the first gen Pilot, and they are a pretty good vehicle. They had some issues here or there, but they're not terrible. As you go around to the side, you can see there's not so much issue going on with corrosion on the sides. It does have the 16-inch 5-spoke wheels. It does appear to be nice just by a quick glance, and I want you guys to notice that as we go around, that a quick walk around of a vehicle is not enough. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and get the hood open. Here we are with our wonderful 3.5 V6. We have the cover off to show you some things, and you can see corrosion right away. In fact, over here where this connector, actually where this plate mounts on, even it has rusted away. A lot of corrosion in this engine bay. It even looks like the engine, some of the paint on the valve cover is peeled off. You can see it's kind of just turned into crust. Looking pretty rough. We do have the cover off the timing belt. We want to show you guys some things. We'll get to that here in a minute. One thing we did replace while we serviced this is this intake boot was severed in half. It was basically sucking in dirt. It does run good. It does have some life left in it. We didn't want to just let it keep doing that. So we do have a new boot. It was like 30 or 40 bucks. It wasn't even very expensive installed, but it came in clattering really loud, especially cold. It was just, it sounded pretty bad. What we found out was it needed a valve adjustment. Let me go ahead and start it up. I'll let you guys hear it. It's 90% gone. It's normal for these to have a little bit when it's cold, just a tiny bit, because they don't have hydraulic lifters. You set valve lash manually, but it's really pretty quiet. The only thing you can hear really is the injectors. So that's basically all it was brought here for, some clattering. We figured we'd get that done, we'd do a quick inspection, find maybe a few other things, and see if they wanted to do it. They did mention timing belt water pump, but after we did our inspection, it gets really, really bad. It's really sad news. But the engine's clatter-free now. It runs very smoothly. We did solve that, so it's not sitting there wearing and tearing the engine apart. Let's go ahead and let Mrs. Swisher give you guys an interior review. Then we're going to get this thing up in the air and reveal the bad news.
There you have it. This thing has 224,491 miles. Wow, it does have a lot. Very simple, easy to read gauge cluster, liking it. So move up, looking nice. I don't think anything broken. Everything is so far still looking very, very good. Okay, good. They've caught the big fish. There we go, liking that. Just smelled like lovely in here. There again, lots of gray, looking nice. They have upgraded the stereo system in here to a Pioneer unit. As we move down, very simple to use controls here. Ooh, hopefully they're okay because they've left their EpiPens in here. Hopefully they have more of those. And oh, maybe they're looking out for me. I have a cold and so does the Wizard. Now we could use some decongestants. Yeah, but again, nice tray down there. Cup holders, center console. Yep, looking good. Looks like, oh, they've got a binky in there. Keep the kids happy in the back seat. It's definitely not going to be good news for when they learn about what's happened to this car. Got some tissues going on, but the seat's in good shape. Nothing is really overly looking like it had 220,000 miles of wear. Door card, again, looking nice. Oh, here we are in the back seat. Yeah, we have had a little bit of wear and tear back here. Yep, looks like they've had a toddler with a rear-facing seat. Yeah, that's what happens. They get a lot of crud there. But again, nothing that a shampooer can't fix. Nothing overly wrong there. Headliner looking nice, maybe starting to get a few weak spots, but again, nothing too terribly sagging. And while I wish I could say that the chrome coming off the H here could be the worst of their troubles, it is not. There's some serious stuff going on underneath of this car. Let's get this up in the air and see what it is.
All right, let's take a look underneath this Pilot. A lot of times you see a leak or something like this and you think, oh my gosh, something terrible. But it's probably just where they refilled the radiator, and there is a leak I'm going to show you here in a little bit. It's starting to have a few leaks here and there, but this is not from that. It's just from filling the radiator. There's a little bit of seepage coming from transaxle and the oil pan where somebody's done an oil change, but nothing too serious. We do see it has new calipers. Looks like fairly new pads. Yeah, the rotors don't look new though. Probably the caliper went bad or something. CV boots look fine. The strut is awfully rusty though. Come take a look, guys. It's flaking metal off of there. It looks really bad. That is only the beginning of our problems, trust me. Let's move over to this wheel here. We see it also has a new caliper. CV boots look to be okay. Nothing loose here. Looks like new, fairly new pads. The rotors are not new. We look up here and it's very, very, very rusty. Ugh. One place we always check for fluid level, especially on Hondas, is this tiny little transfer. It's like a transfer case. It's not a differential. This oil that's inside of here is not the same oil that's inside of here. This gets overlooked a lot. It has its own oil inside of here. This is the transmission, then this transfers it to the rear. Our drive shaft looks fine. Look at this rust, guys. Especially right here. Oh my. But wait, there's more. Look at that. I just put my screwdriver all the way through it. It split the frame, guys. And it's just like a cancer. And it's all the way up in here. The whole body. Look at these clamps holding these pipes. Severe, severe rust. And this one's not even holding anything anymore. Completely rusted off.
Wizard, that's really odd. All the rust is on the driver's side. Why not the passenger side?
It is really strange. On the passenger side, it's not so bad. There is some rust, but over here on the driver's side, it's bad. This entire side is bad. It's all compromised. Rust is starting to split down through here on this channel. This is actually the frame, guys. This is not just some random floorboard or something. This is the frame. The shield over the fuel tank is really crusty. Just have pieces flaking off. It's really, really bad. The drive shaft seems to be okay here. As we move back to the back, we can see that it's had new shocks put on in the back. CV boots are okay. It still has the old calipers. I don't see anything leaking, and nothing's loose. I do see the little ball joint boot is torn to smithereens on that. Kind of an upper control arm. Not sure what this went to, but it's just rusted off and gone. Same thing on this side. It's not really connected to anything anymore. CV boots look fine, but that ball joint boot looks pretty bad. Shock has been replaced. The brakes look all original. But wait, there's always more. Check out this rust in the frame area, completely rotted through. It's not even mounted anymore. This is the subframe mount, pulled completely through the frame. And then our spare tire, I'm not even worried about the tire. It's the wheel where the lug nuts mount is so flaky and crusty. What if it just cracks and breaks into powder when you put it on? Based on the frame rust, really this car is towards the end of its life. It doesn't have a lot of time left. At some point, it's going to become extremely unsafe to drive. I know a lot of people up north, just weld a piece of sheet metal on it, call it good, quit whining, Car Wizard. That's not how we operate here in Kansas. In fact, that would be very unsafe. I know up in the Northeast you guys have inspections, and that type of thing just probably wouldn't fly. So we're not going to do that. Let's get this thing back on the ground and talk about where do we go from here. So as you're seeing, it's looking really, really bad for this car. But there's still a little bit more I want to show you. Right here on the throttle body, underneath there, You can see on the thermostat, it's all blue and corrosion. It looks like that hose is leaking, but it's actually coming up from up above where I'm touching here. There's a little heater plate that coolant runs through for the throttle body. It is so corroded, it's just dripping a little bit. So we got the clattering fix, and now it's nice and quiet. It just needed a valve adjustment. It didn't hardly cost very much at all. It's a happy, quiet engine again. But after our inspection, checking everything over, the customer talked about maybe getting an estimate for a water pump timing belt job. But after looking it over, I really think this timing belt and water pump will last the rest of the life of this vehicle very easily. The rust is getting really, really bad. There's a lot of states out there that this vehicle would probably fail a safety inspection because of the frame. The main frame part of the body is crumbling. It's really, really bad. So let's take a look at that timing belt and show you guys what I found out. So a lot of cars make the timing cover a real pain to get off, but on the Hondas, they make it easy. You can just take one little cover off and take a look and see what's the condition of the timing belt. We did look at this one here, and you can see there's not even a crack in it. It's in very good condition. We turned the motor over by hand while we used our borescope camera. There's not a single crack or any kind of wear really on it. It's nice and tight. Everything looks very good on it. Normally, I would look at miles or look at the last service done. If they don't know, I'd say, yeah, you really need to get it done. But based on the rust on this vehicle, my advice is just drive it till the wheels fall off. But don't take my word for it. I'll go get another professional technician's opinion as well. I'll go grab Danielson. So I have two scenarios for you, Danielson. First, if you're the owner of the shop, would you recommend keep dumping money into this car?
I would not.
You would not?
No, there's too much going on, and just the potential of removing parts and just breaking bolts and all that stuff, it's gonna turn into a whole thing.
It'll be opening a can of worms really, really bad. This car is probably worth, what, $1,500, maybe $2,000 tops with all the rust. Who's going to pay top dollar with all that rust? I believe we could easily put $5,000 into this vehicle. By the time you do timing belt, water pump, struts, and all these different things that are broken, and it's not worth it. Now, think of it from a perspective. You're a technician, you're a mechanic. You could buy this vehicle and fix it. Would it be worth it then?
No, it would not, because even at the rate that because it's a lot cheaper for me to fix a car because I don't pay for the labor, it would still be too much money to fix it. And the headaches of dealing with all the rusted bolts, it's just not worth it. I'd rather take that money and find something in way better shape.
I agree. So as owner of a shop, you would say we shouldn't go any further. And even as someone who possibly even got this vehicle for free, you probably wouldn't even want to mess with it.
No, I would not. Again, just having to deal with all the problems that are just lying right underneath all the rust, it could become so much, you know what I mean? And then the customer's out of money, you're out of time and money, and it's just, the customer's not going to be very happy with the final result.
Right. I don't think in either situation it can be a win really for anyone. So it's best not to even take the first step.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'll let you head back to break. Thanks for your advice.
Of course.
So you just heard it from two different perspectives, from a shop owner and also a technician who could fix their own cars for really cheap. Any way you look at it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for the customer to continue to put money into this Honda Pilot. It's not worth it if you were to sell it to someone who can fix it up. It's not worth it if you gave it to someone for free and they're a mechanic or a technician like Danielson who could fix it all. They still don't want it. It's not worth it. And just like Danielson mentioned, when it's this rusty, you saw the whole engine is corroded. You start taking things apart, they snap, they break. I don't want to go down that road. I'm not interested. The bill is just going to keep adding up, and adding up. Where you maybe quoted $1,000, it's going to turn into $2,000. Where you quoted $2,000, it's going to turn into $3,000 because this broke and that snapped and this fell apart. It's going to keep snowballing into a huge number every time. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you guys as a shop owner. There's some people out there that'll just take your money. They don't care if it makes sense. They don't care if it's safe. They don't care if it's the right thing to do. They just say, fix this, fix that, give me your money. But as a good shop owner, you should learn when to say, no, let's stop. I know I'm going to lose money. I'm not going to make any more money because the repairs have stopped on this. But it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it for the owner of the vehicle. And like Danielson said, the deeper you go into this vehicle, you're going to open up problems that weren't there before because you're taking things apart and now you maybe jostled something loose that you didn't see, and then now this don't work, and that's making noise, and this is creaking, and it's really a can of worms. So we got the engine rattle solved. It's no longer making rattling noises, it's quiet. That is as far as we will go. And in the famous words of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, the line must be drawn here, right here, no further. That's it. And it is kind of sad. If you watch the interior review, you notice there's some evidence that there's children that ride along in this car. We're going to let the customer know there's probably not a lot of life left in this thing. We would advocate to drive it, get a little bit more life out of it. While you're doing so, start shopping for another vehicle. We are getting to a time where cars, especially new cars, are so astronomically expensive, out of budget, out of reach for most people, that we are starting to see a lot of people putting money into cars that they wouldn't have a few years ago. They're saying, I know the car is only worth this much and the repairs are going to cost the same as the car is worth, but it's still, for me right now, that's what I can do, and it's money ahead. I don't have money to have a $1,200 a month car payment. Let's go ahead and move forward with repairs. This is one of those situations that even with that mind frame, you got to stop. So if you're curious what kind of tools we use to set the valve lash on this engine, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. A lot of the tools we use every day in the shop on all these cars are listed for sale there. They're tried and true and proven, and if you purchase any of them, we get a small cut. Really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before you leave, because I'm sure there's many more cool stories to share with you guys coming down the road. Thanks for watching.